Over the past month, I've passed 12 evals trading futures, and in today's video, I'm going to break down exactly how I was able to do so. We're going to talk about my strategies on how I aim to pass these evals. We're going to talk about my risk management. All of that kind of stuff will be broken down in today's video. Now, this is going to be a really quick and informational video, so I would appreciate if you guys could drop a like. Also, let me know in the comments down below how your trading has been so far with futures. We have a lot of new traders getting into futures, so I do want to hear from you guys. How has it been? Now, jumping into the video here, I first want to show you guys a little bit about my progress so far. So we've been able to pass 12 evals this month. We started futures trading at the beginning of January, so we have seen a lot of progress so far, and I plan to continue to make that progress over the next couple of weeks, months, and years here. So jumping into what we actually need to do for these evals. So what I would first recommend doing is buying the no activation fee. If you don't feel comfortable buying the no activation fee, you need to get more comfortable with your trading, then come back, because you're going to end up paying twice as much if you go with the standard version other than the activation fee. So buy the no activation fee. It's $20 more up front, but you're going to be saving money in the long run. I recommend the $50,000 accounts. Those are the only ones that I have ever done so far, and I really do enjoy those. $89 a month isn't too bad, and once you do pass that eval or fail that eval, you don't have to pay the monthly subscription, so it's really just a one-time $89 payment. Now, our profit targets, and this is where things get important, our profit targets are $3,000, and our maximum stop loss is $2,000, right? You can pass these accounts in 2 days. That means that for your 50% consistency rule, you are aiming to make $1,500 2 days in a row. That's all you need to do. Your stop loss is $2,000. Now, the way that I go about this is I take trades where my first trade, I'm aiming to make $500 with a stop loss of $300. Once I am up $500 on that day, I'm going to take a trade risking $500 to make $1,000. If I win that trade, I am up $1,500. If I lose that trade, I'm back down to break even. I do the process again. On day 2, I do the exact same thing. Okay, so write this down. Get a notebook out, write this down. On day 1 and on day 2, I am doing the same thing. I'm essentially full porting the day, but I'm doing it in the safest manner possible. Taking a trade to make 500, risking 300, meaning my stop loss is 300, my take profit is 500. Once I win that trade, I am taking a trade where I'm going to make $1,000 or lose 500 and get back to break even on the day, which is 0. With this strategy, I am either losing $300 on the day, I'm either going to be break even on the day, or I'm going to be up 500 or 1,500, which I need. All 4 of those outcomes I am okay with, right? With these evals, you want to pass them. So I highly suggest against honestly trading the way that you might think. I really am against trading, maybe $100 a day, right? That's going to take you a full month of $100 a day. I think it is more important to get past the eval and then trade your funded that way, where you are getting, your 150 a day and that's it. That's how you should trade a funded, but on the evals, you need to pass them, get on. If you are feeling like you want to use it for practice, I think that that's a smart idea, but I would also recommend opening a combine and then opening a practice account and using that practice account to practice. And then switching that over and going into your eval so that you can actually perform that eval. Now, I do also want to get through a few questions that I did have today. And this is one thing that you wish you knew when you started futures. That is a great question. One thing that I wish I knew when I started futures is it is a lot easier and a lot harder all at the same time. Futures move a lot faster. Okay. It's a lot easier to continue to trade. Okay. And one thing that I wish I knew earlier was the fact that I need to dial in my discipline. Okay. We all know how to trade. We all know what good trades look like. You guys should all know what the BB model is, how we are following the BB model, or how we are following Orb, our 2 main strategies. So once you know how to trade, that's pretty, consistent. We all know what to do. The problem is doing it or doing too much of it or not doing enough of it. You have to find that kind of jumble of success and really refine that into your personal strategy. And that's something that I unfortunately can't tell you. I can't tell you how you are thinking while you're trading, just like how you guys can't tell me how I'm thinking while I'm trading if I take a good trade or a bad trade. So another question I have is combine versus funded. Combine is the eval. Once again, you have to get $3,000 to pass that eval, and you have to take at bare minimum 2 days. Okay, so you can get 1,500, then 1,500, that's your $3,000. Fundeds are where you're actually getting your payouts. That's past the eval. After that, you are aiming to make $150 a day for 5 days. Doesn't have to be in a row, but for 5 days. If you can do that, you are eligible for a payout. Lastly, how do you control feelings of full porting, over trading, etc.? Now, this is a great question because this is a question that I have to answer for myself every single day. Overtrading isn't something that doesn't happen to people who are profitable. I'm profitable and I still overtrade. It's very hard not to, right? I sit in front of the charts all day. I'm sending out alerts all day. I'm simply around the markets from market open to market close every single day, and I love it. But I do have a lot of internal thoughts of, oh, I'm missing out, or I need to get into this, or this is the play, or I can make more, or I need to keep going. You don't. You need to establish your rules and establish what you need to do to achieve those rules or goals. For example, on my funded accounts, I'm aiming to make $300 a day. My stop loss for the day is $300. So I have a risk to reward of 1-to-1. But on those trades that I am up $300, I am bringing my break even to $300 and I'm taking profits over that. So if I'm in a trade and I'm up $600 and I sell that, that's beautiful. If I'm in a trade and I'm up $600 and I put my stop loss at 300 and it comes down and I still lock in 300, that is beautiful. I would honestly recommend you, the second that you hit your goal for the day, lock your account out. Lock it out. There is zero way that you can get into the account if you lock it out. There is no reason not to. You couldn't give me a valid reason on why you shouldn't lock your account out after you hit your goal. There is one way to ruin what you have done successfully, and that is by not locking out. There is one way to secure the profits and all the success that you've done, and that is locking out. So I would highly suggest locking out. That is a very, very easy way to do it. And other than that, it is one of those things that you are going to have to sit with yourself. And I've had to do this multiple times, and I will have to do it multiple times in the future and sit with yourself and say, what am I thinking in these moments? What is going right? What is going wrong? When I take a good trade, what happens? When I take a bad trade, what happens? What am I thinking mentally, right? Or if I feel like I'm overtrading, why do I feel that way? What types of, markets make me feel that way? Does choppy markets make me feel like I need to overtrade, right? Do quick delivery markets where the market's moving very quickly, are those times where you feel like you're chasing or something like that? So you need to find that, answer that question for yourself. And like I always say, you have to find the problem before you can find the solution. You need to identify that problem so that you can go solve it. If you just try and solve the problem without knowing it, you're just going to be running in a circle all day. So that is how I pass my evals. That is obviously all of the structure behind the scenes. We have talked about strategies, and I will link strategies in the description of this video. You guys can go into my channel and go to my education, see all of the actual strategies that I use to pass these evals. But as we have talked about, this is the strategy that I use to progress through them, right? This is not the trading strategy. This is the eval strategy. So once again, I do want to wrap this up because I don't want to take up too much time. But we have $50,000 accounts, no activation fee. I don't care what prop firm you use. I would recommend Top Step. If you're going to use Apex, use code BULLISHBUZZ, all caps. If you're going to use Trade Vacate, Take Profit Trader, great. I recommend Top Step. I recommend Apex. Those are the two that I have used. And I buy the $50,000 account. I buy the $50,000 account with no activation fee. I heavily suggest that. And once again, your targets are $3,000 in profit with a 50% consistency rule, meaning that you cannot make over $1,500 in one day. You have a minimum trading days of 2, so you can make $1,500, pass your eval. Your drawdown is $2,000. So once you draw down and you lose $2,000, the account's gone. But our goal here is to make $1,500, pass the eval on day 2, and get to your funded account. That is really the extent of it. Now, once you get to a funded account, I'll make a separate video for this because that is going to be a whole different beast, right? But the evals should be treated with discipline, due diligence, all of the things that you need for a good trading session, day, or account. But at the end of the day, you want to get past them. You do not want to be stuck in this eval lot. I would rather see someone, and I'm not saying this, please understand the way that I'm trying to say this. I'm trying to say this in a way that makes sense. I'm not saying go blow the account. I'm not saying go take 2 stupid trades, but I am saying push the envelope a little bit. This is your time to push the envelope, kind of figure out what's working, what's not working. This is your time to get all of that trading, that bad trading or maybe not the best trading. This is your time to get it out. Because once you get to the funded, you don't want to do that, right? You obviously don't. So this is your time to kind of work the weeds, right? Figure out how the platform works, figure out how things are doing, figure out what is going right, what is going wrong, so you can weed that out before you get over to the funded where things actually do matter. Now, that is really all I have today. That is everything that you need to know on how I pass my evals. Once again, I have all of my strategies linked in my channel. All you guys have to do is click on my channel, go to the education tab, and watch our most recent videos. Those are going to break down our exact models and strategies that we use to trade on the charts. But this video was all about how we actually trade and strategize for our evals so that we can pass them. Now, once again, I've used all of this information that I've given you guys to pass 12 evals this month, and I've shown you guys now all of the strategies in my channel on how I actually trade. So now you have both sides, you can put them together. You are going to pass your first ever eval with the information that I've given you. And I will very shortly have a video on what to do with the fundeds, because that is a whole different beast, but we're going to tackle it together. So I am very ready to get there, and I am very excited for our webinar coming up next Sunday. If you guys are interested in that webinar, all you guys have to do is click the link in bio and join up today. That webinar is going to be going over absolutely everything about futures, how to pass your evals, how to pass your fundeds, how to risk manage for both of those, right? Also, how we are actually going to be trading those. We have strategies. I have a friend, he has taken over $20,000 in payouts this month alone, talking about January, of course. But we are going to be breaking down everything that you need to know about futures. It's going to be a full masterclass. So make sure you guys click the link in bio and check that out. Other than that, make sure you guys do drop a like, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Deuces.